I am. I'm ready.
I'm assuming that it's green, so we're good. We're go. We're go.
Wait,
Boom.
did you show me the finger? There's the finger. That's what I'm looking for. Giddy up, giddy up. Let's go. It's time for the very unofficial War Robots podcast here on the Droopy Sack Entertainment Network. You thought we were asleep. You thought you caught us napping. You were wrong. We are back 1 week after we last left you. And I'm here with my cohorts, as usual, Mr. Droopy Sack and Mr. Higgles, who's politely chowing away at something to eat for all of you to forgetting once more that this is a podcast that is now video. Boys, we tried to warn him. We tried to warn him, and more of you are coming out not pleased when you get rooted. Myself, I have accepted it as part of the game.
Yeah, me too.
But as I very much said this, my cohort here slurping down, is it the Mountain Dew you're slurping on? Is that what you got going on there, buddy?
Yeah. Dark
Sucking down the Mountain Dew. My main man with the gap between his front teeth had just expressed how much pain and misery rooting has caused him. Please expand on this for us, Jason.
Dark Warrior has been seeing my live streams. He knows exactly what I've been going through.
Well, then tell everybody else.
It's just irritating.
I'm glad you and Dark Warrior have a bromance going. Let us all in on the rest of us on your secret, my man.
No, it's just irritating. It's like it takes away. It's another weapon to take away skill. It's just another weapon to take away skill.
I got to get onto the chat here. Let me see. Are we up and running here, Drew?
Yeah, he's laughing.
Yeah.
Are we? Because I don't see us.
Well, you better see us.
There we go. Great, because I want to be able to see the chat. Jason's having difficulty, you guys. Jason is having difficulty acquiring rooting weapons. I have one. You have one. What do you have it on?
I'm not using it. I have one Glory at level 1. Okay. Tesla, my man.
Glory is a good one. Glory.
Well, out there, you guys are just now joining us. We're going to talk a little rooting here for a while because that is the main topic. We are not just going to rail on rooting. I am accepting that rooting is part of the game, and if they stay with the rooting weapons they have, although not perfect, I don't mind this so much. I was real scared that they were going to start throwing rooting weapons of all sorts at us, and I had no talent, or excuse me, I no attention span for that whatsoever. No attention span for that. But you know what I'm talking about. I mean, as long as there's a certain nice little balance going on there, I don't mind that aspect of the game. Are you just for it or against it or what?
I'm for it now because I have 4 of them.
Because you have some.
But it's I mean, I was like starting to accept the rooting weapon, but then I saw the corrosive weapon or the corrosion weapon. Uh-huh. I call it the ruster.
I really hope they nerf that Viper, man.
What
that thing
the
is
fudge?
Well, okay, they're gonna.
Can you imagine?
Right. As usual, we started on a subject, and now we're gonna totally leave rooting and jump into corrosive weapons, which I had planned for later. So let's go there now. Why don't we?
Yeah, they should slow you down and not stop you. That's a good idea, Tesla. Really good idea.
Was it for 5 seconds?
Yeah,
that's
is it 5
like
or
that.
6 or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then you have.
I like that a lot. It's 5 seconds, but I like that.
So your damage is suppressed afterwards, right?
What do you mean? Wait, what?
Damage is suppressed after, like for 5 seconds after you've gotten rooted. Is that correct?
Congratulations. We went from rooting to corrosive back to rooting weapon.
No.
All in about 17 seconds.
If you took our topics and you put them on like a canvas,
timeline, right?
Beautiful scenery.
Yeah,
it would be like real life.
Mr. Bob Ross.
Very cyclical. Just
no damage suppression. Yeah, I hadn't heard
nice, happy little tree back. Oh, we can jump. We can leapfrog the suppression weapons to suppression robots. Why the hell not?
Your HP goes down for 5 seconds. I hate
rooting. All right. I don't mind it. I mean, of course, once you get rooted, you're infuriated. It's a little touchy now. I'm fortunate. I have I all of a sudden got real lucky in the Royale, you know, and I built up 2 rooting weapons quickly. And if you don't have them, I'm sure you're not too happy with the situation, because you can only acquire them through straight out purchase or purchasing a shit ton of stuff until you're lucky. And that's not the greatest way to go, especially when you're introducing a new weapon and you may want to control its introduction into society. But, you know, suppression is a whole other thing.
I'm wondering if they knew that the effective approach to using rooting weapons was not 3 on a Pursuer or 4 on a Spectre, but 1 on each bot.
Oh,
the effect that 1 was going to have when you combined them?
With just 1, because my level 4, I don't remember if it was the Pulsar or Shredder, but it was like 24% likelihood of locking down a player. So I could spend, you know, an entire salvo, you know, to try shooting that person like point blank and not get them. But then I can, on another player, I can hit the player twice and lock the person down. When they get out,
it goes up to about 38%.
38 likelihood, but sometimes I can get a player locked down with 1 salvo, maybe 2 or 3 times if I don't waste the rest of the salvo.
And how close you are. And that arc is a different mechanic, mechanic than the Shredder. The Shredder or the Pulsar. 2 completely different approaches to how you lay out that suppression fire. Mechanics, which to me make the Shredder, I'll quote Lord Nikon, that hunk of shit. And then he went on to some other stuff. And I may have to agree with him a little bit that I don't know that the Shredder is super effective. I mean, in the right hands, sure.
Yeah.
But compared to your other ones with the arc is just a very reliable weapon.
Are you talking about the one that spreads out?
Yeah, that's through the glory of the Halo, and the remainder that I'm not quoting very well. You know, having that arc is a higher percentage of contact. But like I said, the whole shot mechanics completely different.
Jerry asked, because he has a glory at level 5, should you level it up? I don't intend on leveling up any of mine past level 4 because of how expensive and how long it takes. And I have other weapons and other weapons that are priority. When you upgrade them, I think it's at most 2% per level more likelihood. So I mean, percentages and averages, if you're throwing those rounds downrange in massive quantity, chances are you're going to lock that person down with one of those rounds. Not all of them. But
I feel like that there needs to be an outline to your approach to this group, which would be your whole idea is to root them with the idea of knocking them out with your other weapons. So make sure that your idea with your attack, say with a Pursuer, is to root them, attack, and then get the hell out of there, because you don't have a real high level 3rd weapon on that thing. It's not going to shred quite as much, to use a term I just quoted as kind of a crappy weapon. But I have a level 10 on top of mine.
How long did that take you?
About 6 years.
I got it right away. And let's see. Like I said, I had to stop at 10. I had to stop at 10. You know, I mean, I just don't have the silver to go beyond 10. But it's also, I have 11, 12 gusts on it also. Some people will tell you put the thing on the side so you can corner shoot with it instead of having it on top. But I am a terrible aim with it on the side because of the arc shot. Having it on top, I'm a much better aim. I tried it on the side and I had to kind of lead my targets a different way, and then my gusts weren't hitting the way I wanted them to unless I was, you know, much closer, and I can't get that close sometimes. So it's touchy with Droopy's idea of things. You got to make sure you root them, get in, get out, and kind of understand that you're not going to do damage with it. You're going to use it to
no damage at all. No. I mean, some of them Some of them do. I don't remember which one it does that a decent amount of damage, but just one of them, it's like having a pinata that you've just ejected all the rounds and you still hold your finger on the fire button, or pins or Tulumbuses. One at a time just trickles out. It doesn't do that much damage. It's the cumulative damage of all of the rounds within that salvo. But
now, I'll tell you, Jason, I have to say he's using his a little differently. I'm not using it with the idea of, okay, I'm going to root him and get in and get out. You know, I'm a little more desperate than that. Mine's more just your normal hit the stealth button, run out there, shoot him for a while and get back. But being at level 10 that I have, I will say that if you're under 300 meters, it does a ton of damage.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't see close, damage per.
If you get close, it will do damage. So don't think that don't think that it's not worth it to give it a little more oomph because the stopping power is all that you really need. I don't think that's the best way to approach it in the long run. I think that you need to remember, yes, there is a cost-effective point, and to me, it's level 10. Because that's when the price just gets so outrageous.
Patient though, like level 10. Yes. How long does that take? 2 weeks?
Yes, I think I had enough gold that I was able to, like on 6 days, I rushed 3 of them, and then when I went to 7 days, I rushed another 3. I think, or something.
Question
like that.
for you: what do you think is the most effective bot to put all types of rooting weapons on? Like, I'm not talking about any mixing. I'm talking about rooting weapons, whether it's the ones with the shredder, the pulsar, or the ones with the arcs. I'm talking about
the pursuer.
Pursuer, bro. I've had, or what do you think, Shane?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say the hover, or not the the hover, the hover bot.
Locked on it is so satisfying.
Bro, I put 2 pulsars and a shredder on it, and I have never seen so many angry players heading towards me. Like, it's like they left the objective of getting beacons and they all just shifted over to my side of the map. They ignored everyone else because I was locking every single player down and they were getting taken out by my teammates.
Halo Ember
Bro, oh my
nasty.
God. I wish
so that's something the game has been promoting is going to be a big plus. Now, as all we've talked about since the day one is that you only need one. There is a definite advantage to having all 3. We're not going to talk at length about that because who's got them? Besides Droopy. I do not see a lot of people with 3 high level. I mean, they're out there. They're just, I
don't know what level they are, but I do see a lot of people with them.
Yeah, I stopped.
They're starting to work their way into the crowd.
I see the new bots a lot too, the Raker and stuff. I'm seeing that dude run around quite a bit as well.
I am seeing a few of them, but I'm not seeing them used tactically a whole lot yet. That doesn't mean I think 1% some guy jumped on me and humped the hell out of me until I died. That was always enjoyable. Thanks, 1%. Love it every time you do it.
I'll tell you, I was on a live stream and I faced Tesla one-on-one. We used Hanger X, and there was one of the new bots that I didn't even know existed.
Yeah,
in the Hanger X, like I forgot what it was called. I had no idea what it did. That thing was freaking awesome.
Which one?
Yet to see that.
What was its special ability?
It has the 4 guns, the 4 light weapons.
The Blitz.
But I forgot what it did.
All it did
is
it gives booster.
You that. It boosts you around, and then I think it takes suppressed damage.
Yes.
Is it the art?
Yes, it suppresses your damage.
I forgot what it was, but it was really, really freaking cool. Like it was
it
cool.
suppresses your damage. You got 4 lights.
Blitz, yeah, the Blitz. The thing was awesome.
And it's a very maneuverable robot. The company is touting it as the cure for the common pursuer.
I wouldn't say that, but it's really cool.
That's what they're touting. They like to come up with stuff. Look at some of the robots. I mean, you get a Griffin. They give you a Griffin. And it's got mullets and pins on it. I mean,
I think there was a conversation going the other day, and I think it's a very good one. So if the game starts to try and release content to counter content it's already released, they're getting themselves into dangerous water.
Explain.
Well,
you don't need to do that.
What do you mean?
As we talked about when you're working your way up through the system, and what you and I would have easily purchased, they've got more advanced versions of, like, who the hell is going to get a stalker when the pursuer is out there, and you have to be so poignant with what you're focusing your resources on that you have to not even dabble in the stalker. You just go right for the pursuer. Plus, you know, in the long run, that's what's going to be the big man on campus. Why not?
Can you go get a stalker with silver, or do you have to build it?
I don't remember right now if you have to put componentry into that or not. I believe it's components.
Some of those component bots and stuff is so dumb. Like, why do you have to build?
Like, why do you have to wait certain? Why are there levels? I don't understand.
Well, the wait times. These wait times are outrageous.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Like, I don't mind. As a player, I wish they would reduce the amount of silver it took to upgrade. I wish, but I wouldn't even mind them increasing the workshop upgrade time or the workshop component making time, as long as they just lowered the upgrade time. Then I would be happy.
Yeah, those times are so unrealistic, and I have a feeling we're going to be able to talk ourselves blue in the face or scream on Facebook. They did say they're reviewing certain policies. Who knows what that means? We can hope for the best. I mean, a little bit of give and take from both categories would be great, wouldn't you think? We don't have to drastically reduce all these. You don't want a gluttony of stuff, but you do want there to be hope.
Yeah.
That's just the short of it.
Here's an idea. Imagine, or here's a consideration or whatever. Imagine one group of player downloads the app and then begins to start playing the game. They begin to play the game and they feel the enemies that they're up against, and they're feeling the teammates that they're playing with, and they're getting an idea of what the harder bots to take down are. Level 1 player, level 2, level 3. We're talking about level as far as like going all the way up to level 30, which I don't even know what level 30 means anymore.
Nothing.
It doesn't. I don't think it means anything.
Robots or whatever.
But you can get that at level 25 or level whatever. Anyway, so those players are the ones that don't go to YouTube. They don't search on Google. They just feel their way through their progress. The other player, they spend a lot of their time on YouTube and on Google searching war robots, how to blank. And then they come across Adrian's video on the top weapons or bots to get. But when you think about the perspective of people like Adrian, they're in a specific league that they know from what they experienced to what they're experiencing now, but their mindset is not that level 1 player that has a Destrier and a Cossack with a Mallet T level 2 and a Spiral on one of the Destrier, one of the light weapons, and then a Punisher on the other one. They just
running like a chicken with the heads cut off, just
exactly.
shooting anything it's in range, just pow, 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 pow,
exactly.
Pow.
And so they're trying to figure out what the heck to get, what is the best weapons and stuff to get. And then they look at Adrian stuff and like, oh man, I need to ditch this meta, the meta that's like the Brit bots and before, like all of the bots to the left of the Brit bots. So you ignore everything to the left of the Brit bots. And then you only focus on...
They don't even know them as the Brit bots and the Dash era. Correct. And all they see lately are Spectre, a Bulwark, an Inquisitor, stealth. There's like 5 things they see.
Correct.
We got a $20 donation from the Big
Ragu. Big Ragu. Thank you, man.
The man. Big shout out to you, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
That is appreciated.
But yes. I mean, don't you understand like the different mindsets? You got that one player that's going to be beaten up and not understand why,
or per every 2 or 3 leagues, what chunk of talent,
correct.
It's not really per league because the leagues get thrown together so easily. But yeah, absolutely, it's a wonderful point to make out. that as they work their way through, they see what's wrecking them, and they want. I still get that way. We all do. I mean, in an ideal world, I'd have 5 specters to match Lawless's 5 specters and go right head to head with that mofo and say, let's drop it, baby. Let's see who's the man. But, you know, I don't have that stuff. But I can go out there and wreck with other stuff and stuff I've earned, some stuff I've purchased, but mostly have earned the gold and silver. So the right to purchase upgrades and speed them up if I can, you know, the right to do my best, as we all do. And man, the answer is always going to be there of, well, you just need to level that a little more, or you just need to level that, or you just, you know, it's just not enough. And within the league system, that's supposed to take care of all that.
Speaking of that,
that's why we need help with our league system. And it's old news. I don't want to bring up really, you know, rehash stuff, but we always got to keep that kind of in the back of our heads that a lot of our problems could be solved with a more accurate league system. Wouldn't you feel?
I agree. But can you imagine if the players that are in those lower leagues, when they are able to get those new bots, the new weapons, the things that we are going up against in Champion League, but they're able to get them, but they have to go through a maturity phase where you
still got to level them.
They can't level them up. Like if they have all the gold and the silver and all the money in the world, they still can't level them up past, like, let's say level 5 to 8 within the first 30 days. Or something like that.
That would piss me off.
It would piss you off, but you wouldn't have people that are in gold 1 or gold 3 or bronze running level MK2 specters, and you know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. You know, like certain bots. let's say the specter, for instance, because that's a popular bot that people run, right? A specter should not be able to be used in anything lower than Diamond League. You know what I mean? Like there should be, you know, leagues should be exclusive from certain weapons and certain robots. If you get a weapon or a robot and you want to power level it up to MK2, that's your right. You've earned it. You've bought it. Whatever. Like you should be able to level up as high as you want to. But what you shouldn't be able to do is torment lower level players with your brand new equipment. You know, because they're lower level players. They're just starting out, you know what I mean? So like,
yeah, Kitty's right. Everybody has to grind, but
yeah,
that's why we kind of just shorten the answer to hope. You can't. We just don't want the newer players to look at and do the math on how much of a grind they're gonna have to go to get where we are now because of these outrageous upgrade times. That doesn't make it a grind. That makes it the hill you'll never ever be able to reach. So we're looking for a happy middle.
At Tesla, I don't know if that you know, I would love to see. I don't know if that means they won't get enough money or the same amount of money or whatever. I would love to see the revenue from leagues. Like if they make most of the revenue off of new players or most of the revenue off of higher league players, because I don't think a lot of new players spend a lot of money on the game. I think they start spending money on the game when they get to higher leagues and want to keep up in the higher leagues, because that's what the Blitherin started doing. Like he didn't really do anything until he got to higher league. Then he was like, oh, I need to max out all my stuff really, really quickly. You know, so I think that's when they start really seeing the money increase. We got another $20 donation.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a fantastic. Kitty, yeah, you're right, Kitty. You can't just, even if you had unlimited funds, you can't just spend your league and upgrade your way to a hangar, show up, and be able to rip. You can't do that. Theoretically, you should be more prepared from the grind. Always being up against something better than you. And something that Droopy's pointed out on several times on this show is that it's what makes you better. Some of their points that they were really just worried about are these newer players and seeing these upgrade times of one weapon to level 12 being 2 months of just, straight out, not to mention the amount of silver involved. So for the long-term health of the game, goodness gracious, we want to keep these players around. I'm definitely not judging and saying they are staying or they are not staying. They're leaving and going. We're not sure. We don't know the numbers. We've seen the Sensor Tower reports that say that they are making less money. They're $7 million a month, took a dive last month to $2 million. And I don't. Yes, sir. You have any info on that?
I think that, like the stock market, the U.S. stock market is speculation, and it's a lot of the inflation of the numbers, inflation of the value of the companies, that it is not necessarily accurately depicting or showing the true value of a company or product or service, whatever it is. I think a lot of those numbers that were being shown on those resources that you were explaining, that you were seeing those numbers like really high on these months or these quarters, and now it's dropped. I think that those numbers were inflated by people that were cheating the system, and now those players are kicked out of the game. And those players are kicked out of this game, or they've had to kind of change their account, and now they can't be cheating the system. Those purchases are no longer being, you know what I'm saying? That was artificial inflation.
Say as far as getting accurate numbers there, but I'm getting there's a lot of speculation as to how much they're making and how much. I just saw a lot of Facebook posts of people saying, I hear their numbers are down and we are actually having an effect by boycotting and all this. And I say, well, if I can just compare apples to apples and only go off the Sensor Tower reports, those would be at least the same number month after month. They were always around 7-8 mil. That same number is at 2 million. So that's at least a common denominator as far as trying to draw a graph and see which way they're going. It's all very difficult for us to hash out as players, and you sit there and after a while you're like, geez, well, do we need to? I mean, do we need to?
Reports or something that they have to post.
The quarterly reports are very difficult, Kitty. A lot of players way beyond above our pay grade in knowledge have tried to, but those reports are buried within Mail RU's company. Mail RU talks about how much they make within their company, and then they quoted certain divisions. One of them was their gaming division, and they said our gaming division has put up record profits for us, quoting that year-over-year sales for Pixonic had doubled and stuff like that. So those are the only language we have to go by as even if we were stockholders, but that's just the way the system is. The most enraging part of it is that there are other video games out there, PUBG, Fortnite, and they make money differently. And this company seems to do it in a way that's less ethical. I mean, if we just want to,
they're not trying to be Fortnite. They're not trying to be PUBG, though.
Yes, I know. I wasn't saying they are, but us as players, we are comparing these to them because we're saying, hey, man, we don't feel as good about the way you're treating us as they other. I mean, we hear about these Fortnite players, we hear about PUBG players, and they seem to like the game and the game company and stuff like that. And our players,
if you check the Fortnite, if the Fortnite community is very split. If you go on the boards, like I recently got my new phone. I can now play Fortnite on my phone. So I downloaded Fortnite and I spent the better part of an hour trying to get my PS4 Fortnite account on my phone. And basically what was happening is I was trying to log into the PS4 account through the Fortnite app. And every time I logged into my account, it would just take me to a sign up screen. Like I needed to create one, but I already have one. So I went online and went through Epic forums, because Epic Games is, Fortnite stuff. And there was tons and tons of stuff where Epic literally, like, this has been going on for apparently like a year, ever since the mobile app came out, where people cannot link their accounts. And Epic has done absolutely nothing to help people get their accounts straightened out to play the same account they have on their console as they have on their phone. And then a lot of people don't agree with the way Epic is releasing content for the game. So like there's definitely an unhappy community, and what I think.
But can you draw a correlation to the amount of nastiness there is? I mean, can you compare that to the amount of testiness there is in the WR community?
No, I do think WR is worse, only because that Epic does communicate a little more, and Pixonic doesn't seem in any way interested to change people's opinion about how they think about them.
Well, think about the size of the company too. Can you imagine the size of PUBG or Fortnite's development team or customer service team?
That's where Pixonic could really shine. They're a smaller company, therefore they would, it's more advantageous of them to have a better voice in their community. They're a smaller company. It'd be easier for them, but yet they don't.
That's a tough one because of the demographic, where they are, the people, the nationality, the difference in communication style. Where is PUBG and Fortnite? Where are they located? Their developers and main team. What I'm curious,
they're all centered in the United States.
What I'm curious to know is that they, the difference, I think, and now I'm just telling you this. Not presupposing. I'm pre-qualifying myself as someone that doesn't know what I'm talking about. I'm just basing my opinion off of the very vast amount of information I get from you guys and Ben. I mean, it's crazy how much smarter you guys are about all this stuff. But when it comes to the releasing of content with War Robots is, and I was talking to Ben about this before, and he was probably getting really annoyed with me because I just wasn't getting it. But the fact that you can buy OP status in War Robots, whereas PUBG, Rules of Survival, probably even Fortnite, you can't buy OP status. You can buy what you look like and how you present the world, your mask, your persona, so other people are like, "Oh, dude, you're dope. You got that cool skin. What's up, man? You must be an in crowd." But everyone has access to the same equal access to those strong weapons and those strong whatever the gear is. But you have to go find it. So everyone starts off at the same level. It's just who can grind to get that level and who can kill effectively with those small sidearms, like those handguns. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Whereas War Robots, you can spend all your money and get the latest and greatest and just completely punish people and bully people at the level that you're at in those lower leagues. So you can buy OP. You can't in those other games. So that's the big difference I see. Go ahead.
I just want to say thank you, Ryan, for the $2 donation. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
So do you understand what I'm saying?
Shannon, you said Pixonic did apologize for the gold change.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
I don't see it.
If you happen to remember where you saw that,
I would love to see it.
I
do think.
I'll bet it was one of those Friday posts or something like that. But I would mind checking that out.
The Rinaldi, I do agree with that a lot. It's just the culture too. They just don't. Americans are so used to being catered to. I hate this. Company bends over backward to make it up to you. Now, European countries just aren't that way.
Well, okay, so this is why I brought it up a few minutes ago, is that I'd like to point this out exactly. It's very difficult for all of us. We want to believe both ways, and I can understand why, and it's why I kind of was talking to you, Jason. I was trying to say that PUBG and Fortnite do it differently because of what Droopy just pointed out. It's skins and so forth and so on, and there's no upgrade weapons system that's just been pointed out in the chat for several times. You're all very right. So we tend to say, I don't know, people are still pissed off in their posting area too. But, then we start to think about the fact that it is completely different. See, I think a lot of us have trouble seeing through the fog sometimes. These are completely different monetarily supported systems. Some of it may be because of the Russian background, but it is an upgrade system compared to a just visual identification and individualism to make profit with level playing fields.
Mm-hmm.
And I maintain that that's our basic desire that makes all of us angry at our root, to use a weapon term, is that we want a level playing field. And those other games, no matter what the game is, Fortnite, PUBG, those are great playing platforms and great scenarios. But it's that upgrade system that scares a lot of people. And I'm wondering, is there a future in the game for the upgrade system? Or are we seeing its last gasp of breath in this current cycle? Or are we just seeing the beginning of it, is what Pixonic's doing? The beginning. Are games like Fortnite and PUBG going to end up in the long run resorting to something like this? Right now, they don't have to. But even a study this week off of Engadget showed that Fortnite theoretically has hit its peak.
Probably.
Now, that doesn't mean it's just going to fall right off, but it is something to think about.
I think a lot of those platforms have, honestly, like, you could only get so big before you come back down. You either fall or come back down to a reality, basically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
I think
as
Robots is really trying to, with the content that they keep releasing, the thing that's different, I think, about War Robots than any other game, though, is they're pushing content, right? But that's all they're doing. They're not giving core updates, bug fixes. They're not really doing any of that. So it's like, while they're pushing content, they're not pushing that we know of. They're not really doing anything else. And I'm sorry, but like core gameplay is more important than your new robots. You know what I mean? Like, if your game doesn't work well, no one's going to play it.
But that's to your opinion, though, because some people want those new robots over the quality of their experience. They want the new stuff and the sexy stuff. They don't care about the glitches and the stuff like that, because they actually do care about that one little transaction of time that they're taking a break from work, or they're taking a break from school, or whatever it is, and they don't play it enough for them to notice what you notice and what I notice, because we play all the time. Those other players may not necessarily be noticing those glitches and stuff. And you're absolutely right. I think that more quality control, because like the one thing I've noticed with PUBG is that they release when they release an update, what you would call a core update, which is their glitches and quality control, essentially. As soon as you log into the game, it says please update, click OK to update the newest patch or whatever. You don't have to re-download a massive file.
Yeah.
And they basically tells you what the new update contains and all that other stuff. But I think War Robots
those are excellent points.
What's that?
Those are excellent points in the chat. There's still, Drunken Nace 3073 targeting still sucks and matchmaking is bad still. I know that's a basic statement, but that's it. there are still basics that need to be fixed with this. There are still little glitches and quality issues that longer term players would definitely like to see fixed over content.
Like it took them like what 2 or 3 years to fix the Ansel glitch, to fix the Zeus glitch, to fix the Tehran's plasma glitch.
Yo, check this out. This is the most important thing that any one of y'all in the chat and you two fellow knuckleheads, because I'm a knucklehead too, should take away from this whole stream is if we can buy reactions. Like we can create our own like dance move or like some type of animation. Like every time like I kill someone, I want to like have a hand pop up and another hand with some powder, and then some powder like goes into the other hand, and then I slap the person, and then my handprint like Dave Chappelle. It's like, but it's not cracky. Or something like I sprinkle some like pixie dust on them that I just like killed them, or I dance on their bot, their dead bot, or something like that. That's what I want to do. I want to have some like funny customization to it.
Yeah, and what you're saying is perfect, because not only is it cute and
purchase taunts, yes,
but it's clever and it's entertaining. You know what I mean? It's actually someone thinking and not just the same old killing this and killing that. That's the way when we talked about we want to see parts of our robot go flying off and spinning off sideways, and we'd like to see more oil squirting out, and we'd like to see the death of the robot spin and have a last gasp, you know, and just completely gush its guts out. Something inventive. Those are the things that I believe might be considered fluff by some, but it's not fluff when you take into account that in Fortnite and in PUBG, they're making millions off of that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what, though? I think would be really, really cool. And it would be kind of a twist on what Tesla is saying. The $20 campaign mode. If you had like a $10 a month thing, like I'm not talking about the premium. It could go along with premium, then maybe the up premium 15, another $10, make it 20, whatever. Yeah. But like every month, right? Because the season changes anyway every month. And like if you purchase that every month, you get couple new skins, you know, you get maybe a couple new backgrounds, or you can change the background of the loading screen or whatnot, you know, you can do different like cosmetic things. I think that would go a long way. I think it would up their revenue, and it might give us a little bit more like wiggle room to like get more updates and stuff, because they'd be getting more money to focus on like gameplay and stuff. I think that's why Fortnite and games like that do so well, because people pay tons of money for cosmetic stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but without any individual way you, like Droopy was describing, they've got to write that stuff into it. If they don't write that stuff into it, it's not even there. They're taking a completely different route. They're going to keep cramming new shit down our new stuff down our gullets.
They could even keep doing that. Oh, but just having a monthly thing where we get a few extra perks and stuff like that would be really great.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
Oh my gosh.
Droopy is dead over here.
Oh my god. I'm sweating. Why? I just thought
you live in Florida.
I just thought of a I forgot who said it. Something to buy taunts. But every time I go against Omega and 1%, I would so want to like have like foam fingers like you get at the football game of middle fingers, and like run around and just like because I can't kill any of them. I'm like, I get attacked from all sides, and I just want to just turn just like this.
Dude, no.
Just want to drop your drawers and let it dangle.
Oh my god!
Like in Fortnite, you earn like you can get emotes and stuff.
Yeah.
Like if you were getting surrounded like that, you could just throw up like an emote, like a broken heart or like a sad face before you get totally annihilated. That'd be fucking cool.
What would be funny is like that Dave Chappelle skit where he's like, "You want to play ball?"
Oh gosh, I can't. That was so long
my god.
ago. All right.
Let's talk about some things that we thought were good about the game. Keep some positivity.
Yeah, the game's still fun. I mean, the game is still fun. I still love playing. I just feel like they're raping us sometimes. I feel like they're just completely, bending over backwards for those who have a little bit of, MK2 everything, and it's not the MK2er's fault. It's just you got a matchmaker system that couldn't bake cookies if you totally bought chocolate chips and handed it to them.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, to be honest, Shane, you need more than chocolate chips to bake cookies.
Spread your cheeks and lift your sack.
Why didn't you do that in the first place, Chappelle?
Yeah, it's just not a.
Oh my god!
Freaking broken.
It's. I don't know what's wrong with the Scourge.
So powerful.
So powerful. Level MK2 level 12
is. Meters. You get within 50 meters of that thing, you are dead in seconds.
Yeah, it's risk reward, baby.
Yeah,
risk reward.
Just like the Thunder.
Yeah, too powerful.
Yeah,
just
if you're
like
within. Okay, so to me, that's risk reward totally.
It is, but tone it down a little bit, son. Just turn it down, my boy.
They did.
No, not a chance. Not a chance. Not a chance. Not a chance. Especially when they just introduced a bunch of suppression robots. You want them to. They just gave you a weapon that says, "Hey, man, you get within." Totally, just suck the life out of another robot. Well, but they've got robots out there that take your suppression down 70, 80%.
You know what you just said. We'll pull back a minute. Suck the life out of your opponent. I'm calling it right now. They're gonna make draining weapons next, or they're coming.
Well, they already did. They're called corrosive weapons.
No. Weapons where you hurt the player and receive the other player's life. It's coming.
Oh, yeah.
Video
I think
unavailable.
You brought that up. I think you brought that up earlier this spring, something like that.
I brought up the healing robots, and those are in the game now. I'm telling you right now, on October 16, 2018, Mr. Hagel said that they were going to be bringing weapons that are going to drain the health, and you're going to get the health back. I don't know when, but they're going to do it.
All right. Get naked and take your victory lap around the house. All right. Let everybody know. I am skeptical of corrosive weapons. They seem pretty powerful now, and you're like, well, yeah, but they better come up with the right balance there. It's a fast kill world. Everything is fast kill. Why would you want a weapon that kills you slowly? And that's all I'm saying about that. It may turn out
weapons are awful. They're really, really good, but they're bad.
Yeah.
The Vipers,
they're overpowered.
So powerful.
Well, we'll see what they decide to put out there. But if you have a corrosive weapon, that's easy. It can keep killing a dude after I've shot him. But if I'm already dead, what does that matter?
Hey, question: can you guys still see the stream? Because I have it says 500 internal server error. A team of highly trained monkeys have been dispatched to deal with this situation. If you see them,
my stream, I'm watching it and it went down.
But
refresh it.
Is it?
You have a team of highly trained monkeys?
Yeah, it has a little purple monkey with a hammer.
I just refreshed it and it works.
That's weird.
The chat's not there. It works.
Because it says.
I was thinking. If a highly coordinated squad
definitely hacked. We got hacked. The Russians are pissed.
Lols. If a highly coordinated squad ran a few corrosive weapon, a few players ran corrosive weapons, a few players ran lockdown weapons, and then one or two players ran healing robots, that team could annihilate anything.
You're talking about coordination. That's a neat idea.
Which is kind of what's already happening with Omega and 1%.
Yes, indeedy. Those are the most. I mean,
I think we went down.
It says it's still going.
No, no, we went down again.
What the?
Yeah, we went down again.
Something went wrong. Yeah, Droopy, your channel went down. I can't even access your channel.
I just refreshed it and we're there again, but there's no chat. Nope, it's gone again. We are.
I think
off
YouTube
the
is
air.
down. I can't even get on YouTube.
Yeah, I can't even get on YouTube either.
You got to be kidding me.
I'm gonna quit Safari and try and open it back up.
So I'm recording right now while we're talking, just to
All right.
just to see if we'll add.
Funking phenomenal. After all that we go through to actually try to get this pony.
I think it was good though. I mean, Josh got some donations, had some good chats.
All right. Well, if we're gonna keep recording and then
Post it up later.
Posting it up later, then that's what we're gonna do.
I mean, we did really good. I love the discussions that we had tonight.
All right. Well, to get back on track though, we are very torn because when I was pointing out to you earlier, Jason, at the same time that you pointed out that yes, this is completely different than Fortnite, that it's the same at the same time, and it's we tend to group them together in our head. Whether their business models are different, it really doesn't matter. We put them all in our head as a mobile game. And this is kind of important as far as the way I feel. What could be a real big stubbing of the toe for Pixonic if they're not careful, and that's just perception. It doesn't matter if their monetization is different. Their battleground is for players, and the upgrade system is a harsher system than what they have going. There's no way that both of them are ever going to be the same. But in the players' minds, they see it as just another game, and if in the long run, word on the street is so negative that Pixonic will have a player pool issue, the likes of which they might not be able to recover from. Now, if they're being belligerent in the way they're treating some of us, as far as the way we see it, if they're being maybe a bit harsh when they're asking for you to follow their monetary guides, these weapons are brand new, but they're not available to everybody. You can only get them this way. If they're going to keep going down that road, then they must feel as though they have a good enough influx of players to sustain them. Otherwise, they wouldn't just keep chasing down a self-defeating strategy. Wouldn't you figure?
Yeah.
Or are they maybe possibly going for the buck, figuring that the game will die out eventually and we need to get our color now and get out?
I don't know. Like, I don't think they see themselves as doing anything wrong. I wholeheartedly believe it comes down to their culture and their way of business, and I don't think it's going to change. I don't think in their minds they're doing anything wrong. I think it's going to stay exactly the same.
Okay, but do you believe there are enough players coming in to sustain this, or is this going to be or is there just enough to keep the game just moving along, just barely floating?
I see it moving along, floating barely. I don't see it increasing like they want it to. I don't see it really dying off anytime soon. Maybe 2 years. I see it maybe dying off if things don't change.
Do you think it's just the attention span though?
No, because maybe a lot of games, but not this one, because this one has such a unique experience to offer. There's a lot of diehard players that play like us. It's just very unique. At least it was. There's a lot of games that kind of try and copy it nowadays, but I don't know. If they don't change, I see them just kind of chugging along until they eventually burn out.
Now, what about future games? Don't you believe that future game platforms their choice of monetization model is going to affect Pixonic, because if future game models don't choose this upgrade grind system, it could just end up extinct eventually if games such as these larger ones are successful and are able to beat down the upgrade process. That is possible because they are the most popular and most profitable games in the market.
I think if War Robots was any other type of game, that would probably be happening. But because it's its own little niche, it's a mech game. And while mech games are popular, they're not like super freaking popular. Mm-hmm. And yeah, there's Battle of Titans, but there's still not a game that
no, there is not pushes... Battle of Titans. There is not Battle of Titans.
I don't see Battle of Titans coming out.
Please don't. I know people.
It's out in Russia. It's out in
Russia.
Know.
Yeah. All right. So I know plenty of people involved with the game, and I hope they don't take this personally, because this is purely about the game. And it's been promised for a long time now, but that game is not out. It's only out in one country. And yes, you can reset your phone and you want to play, but there's only one map that I know of. It is not a ready for prime time game.
No,
it's that game out into the open and expect it to be able to compete with this game, then you're sorely mistaken. It is not a competitor for this game.
Some of the things in that game are pretty freaking dope, though.
Yeah, but that's my point.
Oh yeah, I think you're very right.
I would say Battle of Titans could if they ever came out, but that's my point. Is there is no game?
Yes, that's exactly what I was saying. It's very much
pushes this game to change. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why I just brought up. That's why I just brought up, Jason, the idea that if eventually, games like Fortnite and PUBG and other new games tend to choose to take on the non-Pixonic way, it could just Pixonic's choice of revenue stream could become extinct if they burn themselves out and other games say, well, why do we want to make them suffer through the upgrade process? Why don't we just do the Fortnite way and make plenty of money? So that's why I brought that up, buddy, is that yes, it could very well be the determining factor. Because they've proven with those other games that they can be, I guess, bend more to the player's needs rather than to their psychological tendencies and crutches, the way that our psychological crutches have us so attuned and hopelessly deluded with this game. And I say that smiling and know that I am just as deluded because I keep playing this game also. I still have fun at it. I just don't want to see new players beaten down on if it's not needed, because there are these other games out there that are going to steal these players away, and then our game will die. And I'm concerned about the game dying. I don't want that to happen.
I don't either. And I started a new account a few weeks ago for no reason, really. And I just played it a little bit. And thinking back on it now, the beginning experience is the first few matches that you do, the first few levels, level 5, level 6, those first matches, I don't feel like that experience that fun, that I don't feel like that's translated into the higher leagues. I had more fun playing with almost nothing than I did with my account, my personal, I play every day account,
because there wasn't as much diversity.
Yeah. I feel like if they could find a way to bring that vibe, that feel in the lower leagues up, they would have a better player base too, because those players, when they start to kind of increase in the leagues a little bit, that's when a lot of people I think leave, because I'm getting trashed every round. There's no point. But the first rounds, the first matches, you have people who don't even know what they're doing. They're just running around their little destriers, and it's a lot of fun. I think if they could replicate that, they'd be doing a lot, and then quality of life updates and stuff. If they did stuff like that, I think the game could live on for a really long time.
Did you ever see that video talking about the difference between challenge and punishment in game design?
I think so.
There's. Can you hear my cat? She's doing that weird.
Wow.
Wow. Like really weird. It's not even a meow.
Yeah.
It's like a weird. Wow.
It's an attention getter.
That's probably what she's doing. But yeah, it was talking about the biggest mistake with game designers is that they make games more of a punishment experience instead of an actual challenge.
Yeah.
You know,
or even if you do spend money, it's almost like a punishment type feeling that you spend money on like keys and stuff, and you walk away with a negative feeling.
Yeah, that's a danger in entertainment.
Oh yeah,
to overdo it on the viewer, strain the viewer, and draw them out way too long without them getting rewarded for their viewership with things that you know they want to see. You know that relationships flourish that you know they want to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's once again preying on our psychological tendencies, and it's not the most awesome approach, but you know that's business. And
what about this?
Yep.
1,000 keys, opening up a gold chest, and getting 1 million silver, or something like that.
Yeah,
I will say though, I was looking on Twitter, and because somebody said that they had they issued that gold apology on Twitter. So I was looking. I didn't find that apology. Not saying it's not there. I didn't find it, but I did see that they posted up on Twitter that they had taken out the resources, the boosters, out of the gold chest. Per request from the players, and then put in tokens and gold prizes instead of those because the players requested it. That's really cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
How about
that is nice. That is nice, but we demand more. I mean, we deserve.
We will not settle. We deserve not settle for less.
Like I hope during the evening we had some thought-provoking conversation for all of you out there.
And we're presupposing that
Yes?
the stream saved and didn't delete because of YouTube going down. Boy,
I can't even bring up YouTube on my phone.
Yeah, it's down. So sorry about that. That's out of our hands. The YouTube monkey is pissed at us. I mean, I'm not sure what we did to make him mad.
If it is recording, we appreciate everyone who donated. Everyone
that was really awesome.
Everyone who listened, that was really awesome. So appreciated.
Looks like it's back up. We don't do this
for money. We're 3 broke hobos, so we appreciate.
Are we actually back up?
No, YouTube looks like it might be back up.
I just checked on it a second ago.
Yeah, I just was refreshing it a couple of times. That's so very strange for all of you to take a big dive like that. That's
my YouTube's not up.
The big
I've never heard of YouTube going down like that.
Yeah, it's
the big hack. It's the end of the world. I guess you should see if there are planes falling from the sky. Oh, that's
terrible. Google it real quick.
Well, anyway, as we are always trying to get you to think about the game that you're in, trying to give you a way to flex your WR muscle in ways that you don't normally get to. Express yourself,
strengthen that muscle.
We maybe touch your little WR muscle appropriately with your permission and in a nice way, because we want your WR muscle to be happy, healthy. We do. And plentiful.
I got a headache.
Your WR muscle to be very defined, and unlike Jason's teeth, we want there to be no gaps.
Well, I could pay money to have that.
Yeah. No, you don't want to. Keep it the way it is. Shoots beer a mile.
I need to love me for who I am.
Yeah,
shoots beer for miles, dude. Keep it the way. David Letterman millions on the gap on your teeth. You'll be fine.
I will be fine.
Drippy, can you show us the door?
You love yourself, man.
Right there, y'all.
Yeah, there's plenty of loving ourselves going on between the three of us.
All right, y'all. Thank you very much for tuning in. Sorry about the inconvenience with YouTube going down. Hopefully the first part of the stream saved, and we'll be able to have access to it. And we are recording this portion of it to be able to add as a part 2. hopefully it's not part 1 because the point would be moot. So we hope you, your friends and family are happy, healthy, and safe. And until next time, we will check y'all later. Peace, y'all.
See you guys.